All right, well, let's get right into it. The new album, Libertad's in stores July the 3rd. And I think when fans heard that you guys were getting together and doing the Velvet Revolver thing, this is the album they wanted. It's just a balls out, raunchy rock and roll album. How did you guys approach this compared to Contraband?
Well, all right. So the biggest difference was, obviously, with making Libertad, we were a band for a few years, and I think on the Contraband tour, we finally figured out what our chemistry was. Somewhere along that tour, 5 or 6 months into it, who knows? We had evolved into ourselves, and when the writing process came for Libertad, we kind of just knew what our boundaries weren't, you know, at that point, and I think we all made the best record we could possibly make with this, and we really dug deep, and pretty stoked, pretty happy with how we all performed on this.
And speaking of the writing process, so was then Scott Weiland a little more influential on this process? Like you said, you guys were an actual band this time as opposed to him joining up with you guys?
Well, I mean, traditionally, Slash and Duff and myself and Dave as well, but, you know, have always kind of come up with the riffs and the music before the whole thing starts to roll, you know? So initially, like Duff and myself got together, wrote a bunch of riffs. Slash had a bunch of stuff. Dave had some riffs. And then when we all finally got in a room together, initially we were working with Rick Rubin, and he had, you know, U2 and Metallica and a bunch of other stuff he was doing, so he was a really busy guy. We opted to use a producer named Brendan O'Brien, who did the early Stone Temple Pilots as well as Pearl Jam and Incubus, a lot of Rage Against the Machine. I mean, just a killer producer. And when he came in, man, it just took off. And we were just writing, and the songs were coming, and Scott was writing lyrics, and we would be in one room jamming on the riff when Scott was in another room writing the lyrics and coming back going, check it out, I got the lyrics, you know. And then we would perform it live together, and it got really very exciting for us because we knew we had at the end of this experience we were going to have an album, you know. So.